Hey guys, so what we are doing this week, we're going to talk about innovation issues in agriculture, and it's just going to kind of cover a broad subject of it, but I want to cover it with you guys because I think it's important that you know this. It follows our last ag issues with like climate change and that kind of deal. Um, and I'll cover what our assignments are at the end of the video. So just pay attention. You guys will. Um, I'll I'll cover everything I can with you. So um, let's get started. Okay, so what is innovation issues mean? What is it? So it's basically using you're using technology to improve your agriculture practices. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Or you're using practices. Um, you're using those new techniques to increase the crop yield, and you're using new techniques to maximize livestock production. All good things, all things we need to do. You're trying to maximize um, practices, crop yields, livestock. You're trying to do all that so that you can um, get the most for your product, right? Okay, so why is this issue important? Well, we in the U.S. can use this technology and enhance our practices, but not every country, and actually not every person in the U.S. can do that is involved in agriculture. It's not the easiest thing to come by new technology or new practices. And then, a big thing we have is a world food shortage, which is a big issue for us. And it's an issue. You may think, well, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect the U.S. Why should we worry about it? Well, because we export a lot of food, and I'll get into that here in a little bit. Okay, so who's involved? We have ag producers, ag consumers, technology companies, and then farming and ranching distributors. All these people are involved, and then there's also like world governments that are involved in this issue because you may hear of the world food shortage in Africa, and well, why can't we export food over there? Well, there's some issues with the governments over there that don't allow us to. So an easy definition for this, like I've been saying, you can define it as a world food shortage issue, and it is an issue. I mean, we got lucky to be born into the United States to where we can maximize our food and get the most out of it. We have access to it at all times. I don't think you guys comprehend what it's like to not be able to have access to some food. I mean, if you look at countries like some of those smaller African countries, they have a hard time getting access to food and really drinking water is something they have a hard time getting access to. So we can't as Americans comprehend what that's like, being hungry or being thirsty and not being able to drink water or eat food. We don't know what that's like. So if we look at the history of it, we've looked at our technology has improved a bunch since the Great Depression, and a lot of it is because of World War II. And then farming practices have improved since the Dust Bowl. And the Dust Bowl, if you've learned about this in history, the Dust Bowl was in the 1930s, right on top of the Great Depression. And it happened here in like Oklahoma, New Mexico, Texas, Colorado. It happened in the Southwest because our Secretary of Agriculture at the time said everybody needs to grow wheat. That is the crop of the United States. So everybody's growing wheat. Every farm you see has wheat because that's what the Secretary of Ag said. Well, what happens is in the soil, if you don't rotate crops, you lose nutrients. So the soil lost nutrients. Nutrients is what holds that soil together. And so without any nutrients, the it just turns into blow sand. So that's what happened. And you know how the wind gets here. I mean, it's so with a lot of just blow sand and high winds. That's how the Dust Bowl happened. Is we had loose soil with no nutrients and lots of wind. And it's because we didn't do what's called crop rotation. And crop rotation helps us preserve those nutrients in the soil. So if you plant wheat one year, okay, you rotate and you plant corn the next year, or you plant milo or alfalfa or whatever. That's how you can kind of prevent that from happening. So after the Great Depression and after the Dust Bowl, we had people kind of help us. We had some scientists and agriculturists to help us figure out how to prevent that from happening again. And so we've done a good job of preventing that from happening again. And that's been almost 100 years now since the Dust Bowl. And then ranching practices have improved since the 70s. And that is, we had a big, the cattle market crashed in the 70s, and it hurt a lot of people that it crashed, because everybody had cattle. It's kind of the same thing. Everybody had cattle. They kept buying cattle, raising cattle, and then, we had so much cattle that we've supplied everything in the U.S. Well, now it crashes because you can't sell those cattle now, and if you can't sell them for very much. So what happened is a lot of people just got upside down on what they had financially, and it killed them. So we've improved those practices. So what caused the issue? The ability to see innovation in every country isn't there. The ability to see innovation in every state in the U.S. isn't there. Technology isn't available to everybody. And then ag practices are either not able to work in some areas, or they're not being provided to everybody. And then sharing technology. That's a risk. Can we share this technology with somebody else? Can we share those ideas with somebody else? We don't want to, share these ideas with a country and then a terrorist organization come and take that technology and use it for evil purposes. Being able to work with other governments is always a struggle. A lot of people don't like that the United States is a self-governing country. And so they don't, they may be a communist or a socialist society that just doesn't agree with what we're trying to do. They may not agree with our beliefs, religions, or whatever. It could be a barrier between us being able to help them and them being able to help themselves and their people. And then not being able to advance technology further with other governments. Okay, so here are the benefits. I mean, it's advancing technology, especially in the agriculture industry. We see it every day, every year. Just what is new and what can be optimized. We can improve agriculture products, and we improve those through, we might improve them through GMOs or, just improving our livestock, improving our crop yields, whatever it may be. That's how we can improve those products, make them last longer, make them healthier, make them, more readily available. We can do that. It improves the livelihood for the United States. I mean, if you look at what the number one industry in the United States is, it's agriculture. And it's the number one industry in our state. And it's interesting if you look at what industries are top in our state. It's agriculture, and then it is entertainment. So, and that's because the entertainment industry has grown a lot in New Mexico. So it's and entertainment, travel, that all falls in the same one. A lot of people like to travel to New Mexico, like to tour and do the tourism and that kind of stuff. So those areas have grown in New Mexico, but it's not ever going to beat out the agriculture industry in New Mexico because it's too our industry in New Mexico is too diverse. We have too many different things going on. We actually grow more pecans than the state of Georgia. We grow more cotton than probably the state of Georgia. So I mean, we really do a good job of having a diverse agriculture industry in New Mexico. Probably one of the most diverse in the nation, if you think about it, because our landscape is so diverse. And then ending the world hunger crisis. If we can improve this and we can get this issue figured out, we will end the world hunger crisis. Okay, so is there a strong disagreement on how the issue should be solved? Well, people believe that we should use technology practices to improve agriculture. And then, the other side is there's a belief that we shouldn't use technology and practices to improve agriculture. The people that want to improve agriculture are the everyday farmers and ranchers that want to optimize and maximize their products. Okay, so they may use, GMOs, pesticides, things of that nature to help improve. The other side of that is still agriculturists, but they may not want to do that. They may be organic products. They may have those type of practices, and that's fine. But it's never going to be it's never going to have the optimization that you can have when doing, those other practices. So just a quick summary, what is the issue, how is it important, who's involved, how it's defined, the historical background, what causes the issue, what are the risks, what are the benefits, and how do those two sides work. So that's where we're going to stop for this week. If you guys have questions on anything, always you can message me through Wisdom or text me. The assignments this week, I'm only going to give you a discussion question and a quiz. That's all I'm giving you this week, guys. And probably I'm only going to do that for the rest of the year, or rest of this time that we're on Wisdom and doing the online stuff. I'm only going to do a quiz and an assignment a week along with the lesson, the video lesson. So, you don't have to worry about anything like that. So just be on the lookout for that discussion. I'll get that out to you guys as soon as I can. And if you guys have questions on anything, just let me know. So we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.